Hi guys, welcome back. Thank you for returning if you are a regular here, and if you are new, welcome. Lots of finishes to show. I've been busy getting finishes done, so I'm excited to show you guys those and what I've been working on, and a sneak peek on a secret stitch that I have been doing and been keeping mum on the designer and all the details. I won't be sharing the details yet. We'll see when we get there. Watch, I'll probably show it and then I'll just barf all over who it's from and the specifics on it. I will be saying goodbye to one of my WIPs. So I was reorganizing, kind of going through my Tiny Decisions app that I use on my phone, and I think now I'm down to like 5 WIPs, which I am not a huge number kind of WIP person. It does something with my OCD. I just can't stand, I don't know, but I'm also a product stitcher. I'm gonna stitch the things that I love so I can get them up on my wall and enjoy them. So yeah, let me show you the one WIP though that I decided is gonna be a no-go. I'm happy that I decided to say goodbye to this early on in the stitching process. I was probably I'm not even a quarter of the way through the first page. I love the fabric, I love the thread, but I'm just not feeling it. Yeah, Mermaid's Folly. I know, I'm not saying goodbye to it forever. Just, you know, I love the old man and the mermaid. Those were the two characters I was gonna stitch. But there's just something about it. I'm just not feeling it. So yeah, old man, the mermaid, that's what I was gonna stitch. So it's okay to say goodbye. It's okay to unkit it, put the pattern away, or if you know you're not going to stitch it, sell it or gift it to somebody. It's okay. Like the stitching police, the gods will not come after you and shun you. I was stitching this on a 40 count Newcastle in this dusty blue. Loved it. Love the fabric, love the thread, the variegation. I was using a cone of my Vicki Clayton silk, so fabric and thread were not an issue. It was just my feelings towards it, and I had taken that piece to go pick up the boys at school. And I was sitting there and I was like, I'm not in love with this. I like it, but I'm not in love. And I think you really need to be passionate about, especially larger pieces, if you're going to be putting a lot of time and effort and concentration into stitching the piece. Like your heart better be into it. And there's nothing wrong with stitching on it, putting it away, you're not feeling it. But for me as a stitcher, I don't like WIPs just sitting around and being a WIP for years and years. So that one is off my list, but I am okay with that because I have plenty of other fantastic charts that I want to stitch, so it's okay. So if you are on the on the same page as me and you're contemplating whether or not, do I give up on a WIP? Just do it. Just make the decision. It's not going to stitch itself. You have to stitch it. It's not going to make the decision for you. You have to make that decision. So from Mermaid's Folly, I went to Tiny Modernist, Stitch Goddess. This is available in 2 ways. Girl with the red hair. I'm doing the girl with the brunette, and loved how colorful and crazy. I don't know. I was also sucked into it by a fellow stitcher. So what's nice, I don't mind color changing out threads. And it's a mirrored design. Rabbit, rabbit, goose, goose. God, you know how I feel about geese. And so my hoop is large enough, I could basically stitch on both animals, get it done, and then move on. But I'm kind of working in like a counterclockwise sort of position. This fabric was not dyed by me. I took this out of a stash that was given to me after a deceased stitcher, and I absolutely love it. So I have the top half already complete. You can kind of see where I started the bottom half. So I started those flowers there, wrapping around the bottom, and then I wanted to start working on her dress that has all these designs and stuff. Now her dress is solidly stitched in this cream color, and I'm trying to find a way to cheat. So if I have to, I will fill all of that dress in with the cream, okay, or figure out some other way. But I really like how this is stitching up. This is 18 count. I'm doing 1/1 and love the coverage. I absolutely love it. So yeah, I finished off on her dress these flowers here on both sides, these flowers, kind of the weeping willow-ish trees, the home, and then I started on this flower here. So yeah, this is Stitch Goddess, Tiny Modernist, available on Etsy. So I'm really liking how this is coming out, and that was fun to work on for a couple days. I am not doing Mania. Never has really been my thing, but I love watching videos of people who Mania is their thing and seeing the things that they're going to stitch or how they plan on doing Mania. So I will show you my last WIP, which I will be working on for a large part of May. And I know I could totally bust it out and get it done if that's all I worked on May. The next WIP I worked on, if you are a part of my 1884 Stitchery Sal, you were just emailed yesterday, part 4. And so if you are staying up, let's see, that's the right way. This is where we are at. So I started this stitch along in February, and I've given out a little section of the total. I've broken it up into 6 parts, and I've given out a part at the beginning of every month. I started it in February because a lot of people start New Year, New Starts, or a lot of sales start in January. But I wanted to start it in February in case people's plans changed. They decided not to do a sale because they saw the first part or the whole thing. And mine works up super, super quickly. I am using 2 DMC threads. I should know the colors by now. 3768 and 807. But I encourage you to use whatever threads you want to use. Sparkly, silks, one color. So yeah, I'm loving how this is coming out. And part 5 and 6, and I will be getting to start stitching part 5 shortly. The amazing Arlene works by ABC. She has put her little finishing chart expertise on all of my 1884 Stitchery designs. And so I know I definitely could not release any of my designs without her help. Thank you, Arlene. Okay. Let me show you my secret stitch. And I'm not going to say the specifics on it, but I will show it. I think I want to get a little bit more done before I release the designer and all that stuff. So I kind of went crazy on it because I was loving the colors. I'm missing one color. It's like, not that I have a ton of WIPs, so it's like, but I did go through my 5 WIPs and see if I had the color, which I don't, and I don't have the color in any of my stash or extra DMC threads. So I need to go and purchase that. But yeah, here are the thread colors. And for pieces that I work on that have multiple DMC threads, I just put them on these big rings to keep them all organized. I bombinate. It's easy for me. And I can keep them all organized in like 4 boxes, and yeah. All right. So there are some open spots because I don't have the DMC color that I need to fill in those sections. But the top row, the top 4 pages are complete. McKenna, what are you doing stitching a sampler? I know, people, it's usually not my thing, but when I saw this, I knew my hands needed to stitch it. I'm not even cheating by not including, I'm not cheating by taking out the border. I am stitching it. So let me see here. I am in love these little corner motifs. The colors are what completely sucked me in. And I'm even being good and trying to do 1 letter at a time, but I'll show you my back. I mean, I do have some carrying, but I'm not afraid at all with threads showing. So yeah, the letters, you got your simple alphabet, and then you have more of a script. And then I love these like regal Art Deco big letters. So yeah, I'm in love. And yeah, it's 2 different colors of kind of a cream. But I like that you have, you know, the pop of this red of the A, right? And this random kind of corally orange and blue, but then you have these cream colors which basically match the fabric, because you can see them you can see them. I just think it gives it a really cool overall look. So I was really happy to get to the edge, and I can start working the border all the way down. And I can usually just sit and watch YouTube and show you here and just bust out this the border, and I'll just put a couple lengths in and go down. So she's a big girl. She measures 246 by 225. I'm not sure how big my Long Dog Virtue piece was. Probably bigger. I don't think this is the biggest. So it's fine that I only left a little small section up at the top, because when I plan on getting this framed, I'm going to get a really close frame. So yeah. So more on this sampler next time. But follow me in Stitching in Sequins on Instagram to follow along with my progress, because I am showing pictures, just not giving out specifics. All right, so what am I working on for May? She hasn't been worked on in a long time. I was trying to figure out a way to cut down on her size in stitching, but I was told, no, don't do that. I'm not allowed to give up on her. Arlene told me so. I think I just did so much. I sort of burnt myself out, but not completely. Because if I did, you know, I would have figured out some way to chop her off. I'm just happy this whole top section is done. Beaded and everything. So this is at the Met, Mirabilia, my first one ever. I'm not going to say my last one. I mean, I like Blackbeard's Mermaid. Blackbeard, I think, is really cool. But I think it'll be a while before I do another lady. But I've always really liked her. If I had to do it again, I would just be stitching her and not the arch. I am stitching her with a Vicky Clayton silk conversion. I just picked threads that were close enough, and I'm going with it. I am stitching her on, is it 36 count? I did her skin 1/2, which I absolutely love, which I kind of wish I did the rest of her like that. I did her skin like that just to give her kind of a different textural difference than the 2/2 for her dress, which it's not bulky, the 2/2, but I just really prefer working with one thread. So yes, she is beaded, and then I have glued on crystals on her headdress, which I shortened and modified. I did put beads in her hair, and then her bracelet and some of the sash jewel thing, part of her dress, is already glued with Swarovskis. I just need to go and add in a couple there. Her outline is done, her face. So I'm definitely just working my way down on her, and just have her in this large Q-snap, which totally completely works. None of the beads are being swished. So I love her sash, all the colors. So I am working on filling in this section here, which is just 2 colors. So that's simple, and that's what I've always liked about this Mira, kind of just blocks of color, and I thought was doable for me because I don't do like full coverage confetti stuff. That's just a turn off for me. It's not my thing. And a lot of Miras can be confetti heavy, but I was happy when I had got this chart. I was able to look at it a lot closer and see that it's kind of just chunks of color, so it's completely doable. So yeah, I will be working on, at the Met, I call her ATM, for the month of May, and see how much I can get done. If not, finish her up. Finishes. I'd finish. No, I not showed you that. 4 finishes? I have 4 finishes, people. 4. April. Our Latte Studio. Thank you guys so much for those who participated and purchased charts. Remember, our Latte Studio patterns can only be found on 1884 Stitchery, either PDF or hard copy. If it is PDF, make sure you put in the little memo section your email address and the PDF version. So I have, no, because that would have been way too many. I would have had to go back. They're all as hard copy, but if you want a PDF version of the chart, make sure you write in the memo, please. I'll take the PDF version. I'll mail it to you. Make sure you include your email address. I chose Ego Sum. I am only stitching the middle section, not the flowers. And I finished it in the month of April. And I sort of kind of cheated by not filling it in. But that's okay, because I think it's amazing, just the black work. So I stitched just the black for the chart, added in the writing, but I did back stitching on the writing rather than the full X's. So that's the only thing that I changed. I love how this came out, gold frame and all. I finished it off nicely. Oh, the days of my ghetto finishing have come so far. I know this was a thrift store frame, and yeah, I absolutely love how it came out all together. I actually used, what did I use? Cardboard and traced it, so it's this sort of funky octagonal design. I know that's not the shape. Sprayed adhesive 3M spray on the cardboard and laid this on top of it. The 3M spray is acid free. I'm gonna be dead before it starts falling apart. So yeah, I used to use sticky board, But then I was always having to go to Hobby Lobby to purchase it, or they wouldn't have the sizes. So I make my own sticky board with just cardboard from boxes that I save from Amazon or any sort of like cardboard inserts. Spray them and lay it down. Yes, it's not removable. I understand that. But I'm pretty good just laying it down one time and it being perfection. And then I just use a piece of construction paper for the back. I write the specifics on it, and yeah. So this piece will be living in the top cabinet with Bo and Charlie. Anything sort of Skull Dead related, it's kind of a little shrine to them. So, as a well-spent day brings happy sleep, so a life well spent brings happy death. I don't know if Bo and Charlie are happy that their happy death is now in my office. Their skulls are in my office and they have to listen to my crazy ranting and bullshit all day. This is Strawberry Blossoms by Kathy Barrick. I completely changed the pattern. So I gave her darker skin tone. I was going more for like my skin tone. I mean, I'm catching up. I'll be in Miami in a few weeks, so I'm working on my base tan. I won't be that dark though. But what they had it charted for was like albino, and I just didn't like that against my lighter fabric, so I just made her darker and just picked a color. There was also a blue stitched heart design around her, which I did not include. I think there were more, no, there were the same amount of strawberries. So I was originally going to put this design, and I stitched her on 40 count, 1/2. I was originally going to put her in, I don't know if you guys remember, kind of a longer black mirror that the mirror popped out and I was going to use as a frame. And I love that so much, but I still have not found, I thought this would be the perfect, but I don't want something like happy and cheery. I want something like dark in it. Either a Halloween piece, or I do some sort of like black work skull, something. So this frame is years ago from IKEA, and I really like how it came out. The open work, and then you can set the frame either way or this way, and then the birds are still whichever right face up. I know she's cut off a little, but I don't mind that. I really don't. And I knew I had to bring her down. I couldn't just have her kind of levitating in the middle. Yes, she does not have arms. She does not have arms in the pattern. But that's also because the blue heart design that goes around butts up. But maybe she's armless, or she has her arms in her shirt. The dark blue here, I did all tent stitch, and the light blue on her sleeves is all tent stitched as well. And I'm a fan, so there might be more 40 count projects where I just do tent stitch and am completely happy with it. So yeah, this is gonna go live out in my kitchen for some color, because right now I have my, remember that colorful black work Medusa piece? Yeah, that's on the counter, and Ayrton's like, that's more like Halloween and you have it out. And I said, well, let me do a video, show my finishes, and I'll change out the projects. Another finish. This was The Witch of Bramford Station by Queenstown Sampler Designs. I have a couple copies of this on 1884 Stitchery. And I love it. She's super cute. I did not include the writing of, it says Bramford Station. I took that out because I wanted just the perfect square finish. I had one of these trivets, and this one worked perfectly. And I popped out the tile, put some glue sticker dots on the tile, placed the fabric on because I did not want to use the spray adhesive. So I put glue dots on the tile, put down the fabric, that's what held it, pressed it into the face of the trivet, and then I tucked it all nicely. I even put down some packing tape, but I used other glue dots to hold down the fabric onto each other. So this is perfectly fine. It's kind of hard to like seal up the back, so I just wrote all the specifics on a piece of paper and took her in. And that's how it is. So yeah, she's adorable. I really love the colors on her. Those are the called for colors, and that's what completely sucked me in to do this. Yeah, so she really, really fun. All X's, no back stitch. Yeah, super cute. Fourth finish, yeah, I'm still going with the finishes. Remember this one? Winifred Witch by M Designs. This was in the Cross Stitch Halloween magazine. She's on the front cover, so if you're, I'm not sure, I can't remember which year. Was it 2020? No, it was probably 2019 issue, but she's on the front cover. I've always loved her. Beautiful face. I love her hair. So her eyes, eyebrows, lips are all over one. And love how it came out. That is the called for colors that I've used, the DMC. The only thing I changed, the gray part in her hair, I used Etoile. I love the little back stitch with the cobwebs. And her necklace was just a V with string, just simple. But I added a Swarovski necklace, little, just attached it. Those I got in a package from Michael's that I wasn't sure if I was going to use those on, I think at the Met when I was getting all of the Swarovski crystals. So yeah, I decided to add that onto her. This frame, thrift store frame, found a number of years ago. I had something else in it. I think Shake Your Tail Feather, and it just didn't go, so I popped it out and knew she needed to be lined up exactly with the frame. I think it cuts off like one row of her hair, but I think she works absolutely perfect. This gold frame, this green velvet, and yeah, she's in there all nice. And these, I have it, so I folded it over really nice, and then to attach it, I busted out my nail gun and just threw a couple nails in to hold it all down. I wrote on the frame all the specifics, and I love her so, so much. So those are my 4 finishes. What else do I have to talk to you guys about? I got a new delivery of samplers. Go check out 1884 Stitchery. Sign up for the newsletter. If you are not, I sent out a newsletter yesterday. If you would like to see what is on the newsletter, you can shoot me an email, mckenna@1884stitchery.com. I will list it down below in the description, and I can send you a copy of the newsletter. It's Samplers Galore is what I have it titled. Make sure you use that search function on my website. You can type in anything from Halloween, Lizzie Kate, but then I also have tabs. So I have some tabs, specifics listed along the top, and then a drop-down menu with everything else. And so, yes, great samplers, really excited about those. Let's see, as far as non-stitching finishes, if you guys remember, a little over a month ago, my dear grandfather passed away, and I took the opportunity of being up there to go visit his parents' gravesite, which I had never been to. And if you remember, 1884 is the year that my great-grandmother was born in Italy, my grandfather's mom. So I had gone to the local Michael's and purchased a couple different types of paper and not chalk, not oil pastels, but some sort of pastel to rub. And this was Ottavia's headstone that I got, so 1884 to 1982. Yes, some amazing genes on my grandfather's side. He lived to be 92. His birthday is in a couple of days. But yeah, she lived quite long. And then Mike, or Michelle, which I was actually kind of struck that they didn't use Michelle, his given Italian name, on the headstone. They just went with Mike. So 1877 to 1950, and he died so young. We are not sure if he was robbed and pushed off a bridge or if it was suicide. They did find his body in the river, but the whole kind of story, speculation behind it has been very not really sure. And so I actually talked about it to my grandma when I was up there and my grandpa was still alive. He was obviously way past sort of giving any sort of information. But she told me everything that he had told her. So yeah, they are not sure if it was, he had been robbed because he had quite a large amount of money on him, yet the money was not taken. But somebody passing by supposedly tried to take him off the edge and was able to pull his jacket off, and that's where all the money was. But he was also scheduled to meet one of his kids at the bank. But then not sure if suicide was the reason, because supposedly he had been told that he was diagnosed with dementia or Alzheimer's. So yes, not very clear on that. Sad, regardless of which way. There is suicide on my mom's family. I've been open with it, dealing with it myself on this channel, and so I think you kind of always think, okay, well, you know, there is suicide in the family, so, you know, what if he was kind of going down that road as well. But it was great to visit both of their grave sites the day after my grandpa passed. And so, yeah, I did the grave rubbings. I got these frames off of Amazon. And so we have a large wall that I have not taken over yet, coming down the hallway for my office. Ayrton's room's next door, and then Cal's is across. But there is this huge wall that I've not commandeered yet, but I'm thinking of making it sort of like a family wall of like the grave rubbings. I have really old photos and kind of doing like a collage. So yes, that is my plan. I have not purchased anything stitching wise. I'm trying to think what else, but I think that is it. Wonderful weather here in Arizona. It is starting to warm up and places are open, no masks, and it's been fantastic going out and mingling with people again, and seeing people's faces and not just from like this and you're not sure who it is. So yeah, this past weekend I definitely went out a couple times and had an amazing time. So thank you guys so much for watching. Questions, comments, leave them down below. I need to do a giveaway. I feel like doing a giveaway. That will be in my next video. I'll figure out a couple items to give away. I'm gonna go stitch on my big lady and see how much of her I can get done, because the Arizona State Fair is happening this year. It's at a different location than the fairgrounds. I assume the competition section is going to be open, and I got a lot of items in here I gotta start figuring out for TFD, Total Fair Domination, and my ATM is gonna be in the running. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys next time.